Hello, my name's Diony Severino. I'm the team lead for DC Project Blue. This is the post-mortem for our game mod. The name of our mod is Lab Rat. It's a mod for Fallout 4 that we created. So, the original idea behind this game mod was uh, originally meant to be for the video game Cyberpunk 2077. Unfortunately, we had to switch games because of a lack of proper modding support for what we wanted to do in that game, which was add a new area, new weapons, new NPCs, etc., etc. So ultimately, we ended up switching to Fallout 4, which we felt we could still do a similar theme with. Uh, the overall quest involves the player traveling to the Institute and discussing with someone looking for a defector from the Institute. Eventually, the player tracks down an old lab still within the Institute, finds and kills the lab rat, and gets two new items in the process. These two items are called the Malorian Arms 2077 revolver and Johnny's Silver Hand, which is a combat armor piece.
Hello, I'm Bailey, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the level. So, like we were just talking about, the new quest area involves an abandoned institute area. It's a lab of different sections. The player searches for three terminals to unlock three gates to reach the character to complete the quest. Right, the enemies that are inside are protectrons, assaultrons. There's Mr. Gutsy in there, and one of the big things that we were planning to do, just because this was an older version of the Institute, was Gen 1 synth, but trying to get their nav meshes to work and their aggression to work correctly, just like the aggression on site that we could use with the other robots, just wasn't working correctly. So we scrapped them and they're only used for decoration and set piece now.
Hello, my name is Henry Orsock, and I'm going to be talking about the two new items that we added to the game. So the first one is the Malorian Arms 2077, which is a modified revolver. It takes fusion cells and it sets enemies on fire. It also does a bit more damage. In reference to the plot, it's invisible in-game, and it's based on the Malorian Arms 3516 pistol from Cyberpunk 2077. Johnny's Silverhand is also based on Cyberpunk 2077. It's a piece of combat armor that gives the player extra energy resistance, and it's in reference to the character Johnny Silverhand, who had a silver left arm in Cyberpunk 2077.
Hi, my name is Gavin Hare, and I will be going over what we cut from the mod because we could not, we either didn't find enough time to add it in, or just there were too many issues and it was not worth putting it in the mod in the first place. So first off, custom voice lines were planned for each character in the quest, but in the end, only the lab rat really ended up working out. We didn't have enough time to do the voice acting for everyone due to assignments and finals and other things coming up. At least we got the lab rat to have some voice lines, and I think it does add a lot to the mod, but in terms of the player character speaking and some other NPCs, you do just have to sit through some silence. Another thing we had to cut is both the new weapon and the armor piece were supposed to receive textures, but basically we had to cut the textures from the armor piece, and we sort of cheated on the weapon by making it invisible, which sort of making it retextured, but we had originally planned to have it have its own custom texture. It would still be the same model as the usual revolver, but due to issues with the creation kit, we had to instead just forego that idea. We also wanted to have a different, sort of timeline to the quest. We wanted to add either different branching routes, and we wanted to have, the quests start in different ways. But we sort of streamlined it so that, you start the quest in Diamond City, and then once you get to the Institute, then you can continue the quest, all that sort of stuff. We wanted to allow you to spare the lab rat, or have some more stealth sections in the level. But sadly, we just weren't able to really get those things in.
Hello, my name is Chase Call, and I'm going to talk about some of the technical issues we had with Fallout 4 and the creation kit. There's quite a few of them, specifically around merging and the usage of ESPs and ESMs. Originally, we used an ESM file um, to compile all of our data, but it did not like working with the original assets within Fallout 4, such as the Institute levels or Diamond City. So then we had to utilize FO4 edit to convert our mod back into an ESP, um, working around the ESM, and then eventually being able to utilize the vanilla Fallout 4 assets again. Along with this, we had a lot of crashes on startup and issues in general with Creation Kit. This just seemed to stem from Creation Kit itself. There weren't really any ways we found around that besides restarting Creation Kit. And then scripting issues. We had issues working and testing our quest when we were trying to utilize things such as terminals opening doors. But eventually we found a workaround with this by archiving all of our script fragments into BA2 files. And now on to production. So our team roles, Dio was our team lead and gameplay programmer. I was version control and narrative lead. Bailey was our gameplay programmer. Gavin, our visual design and documentation. And Henry, our level designer. For this, we had 2 to 3 meetings a week, one in person and one online. And these meetings were roughly 30 minutes to an hour, just to check in and make sure we were all on track.
Now, back to me. I just want to discuss some of the lessons we learned throughout this project. One of the main issues that we faced throughout this was organization. We found ourselves being unorganized at points due to people getting sick and or personal problems that, while excusable, still hampered the development of this mod. And I think that going forward, if we were to continue this project, we would set up some kind of system in so that one person falling behind could be compensated by someone else. Another issue we ran into were uh, specifically like researching more of the issues that we would anticipate facing with Creation Kit ahead of time, specifically when it came to parts that we consider to be more important, like the item retextures. Had we had more time to uh, research those, especially since some of them were not properly documented online, we would have been able to perhaps come up with an alternative or even find a solution through more time being devoted for research. Uh, Also, and it's we should have asked for more outside help from groups that were using similar programs. While there were points where attempts were made to communicate with people who knew this tool more often, it wasn't those attempts didn't really bear fruit, and it wasn't really done much. Had we done more, we might have been able to implement some more of our ideas. And with that, we reach the end of the presentation. Linked here is a full playthrough of our mod, and of course there is a link to Nexus where anyone can install this mod for their own personal use.